What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course, From Ridiculous to Radical to Real. This means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, From Ridiculous to Radical to Real and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
Adversaries come in many forms, but you will be victorious when you realize that worship is warfare.
Adversaries are necessary because without them, you never really discover your purpose.
We've accepted what somebody told us we were in our past. So our past is sabotaging our ability to hear instruction.
We are not much unlike a battery. The negative is the thing that's needed to produce the power.
I empowered you to overcome everything you've overcome up to this present moment. I fixed you for what's going to happen after this. You were in the mind of God long before you were ever born.
You are not alone in your battle. God has your back because worship is warfare. Put these 4 messages in your arsenal today on CD or DVD. Equip yourself by visiting our website or by calling 1-800-591-8480.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in the United States of America, live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time on any smart device worldwide. And you can get us at David G. Evans, the #1, at David G. Evans, all one word, the #1. We're so excited that you joined us once again as we begin to talk once more, always from the perspective of faith. And we talk about politics and sports and cultural events and international and national events that impact your life. And we comment and have conversation around those subjects, but always from a kingdom, a biblical point of view. We have some of the most informed, intelligent callers in the world. And we're glad that you joined us once again. Why don't you share and like and subscribe and tag a few people, 4 or 5 people, invite them to join this great conversation for the next 60 minutes as we seek to add a kingdom perspective to whatever major events are going on in our lives that impact our lives, but always from a biblical point of view. That's our foundation for our discussions every week. So you can join us today. We'd love for you to give us a call, 866, toll free now, 866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. That's 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. Of course, joining us is our executive pastor, Reverend Nicholas Smith. How you doing, man?
Good morning. Good morning.
Everything good?
Yeah, we here.
Yeah, man.
A lot
Lots going on. Yeah, man. And I'm sure we're not going to get to all of it, but we can begin to start talking about some of it. A lot going on in the political arena. A lot going on in the social arena. I'm amazed, Pastor Nick, at how reactionary the nation has become and how divided that makes us. I'm amazed at how we react uninformed.
Yes.
I mean, there was a time when people would reserve their comment until they had learned some of the information, but now we're leaping at conclusions based upon what we want to have happen. And I've been saying it for a couple of weeks, that when people do not ask questions, it's because they're content with what they're thinking.
Yep. Yeah. They want to stay offended.
Mm-hmm.
Gives them a sense of strength.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because look, we don't even know what the FBI found.
No.
They're not even saying what they found, if they even found anything.
They found some stuff, but in general categories. They're talking about it, but they haven't gone specifics.
Yeah. So we haven't jumped out and said, hey, they found actual nuclear documents, because they didn't confirm that yet.
No.
But people are all up in uproar and defund the FBI.
Well, here's the thing. If he had top secret documents, that's a problem.
Yeah.
He's no longer president.
It's a federal crime.
He's not supposed to take that stuff out of the White House. And if I took it out in boxes, what was I going to do with it?
Yep. But that's why that whole espionage.
Monetize it?
All that stuff.
Was I going to monetize it?
Has some information on people.
Was it ego? I got secret stuff?
Yeah. I wonder if it's something, we hold on to something, so I got something in my back pocket if I need it.
Well, that stuff can be sold for a lot of money.
Yeah.
But here's my issue. I found that during the pandemic, our previous president gave me the impression that he was not that concerned with the lives of everyday people.
Yes.
Which is why, it'll just go away. The president is supposed to be concerned about all Americans.
Yep.
And something as fundamental as the health of America should not be counterbalanced by the greed for money.
Agreed.
So when I see people making decisions, and this is across the board, and this is in life, politics, and ministry, when I see people making decisions to benefit themselves at the cost of people, I have a problem with that.
Me too. I do too.
Okay.
Absolutely do.
Okay.
And that's what we've been seeing. What we are seeing, especially those people who, as you said, they tout stuff. The politicians and the people in the media jumping on this thing, drawing conclusions to rile up a base of people, knowing what they're doing because of how much money they're making. I was listening to Charles Barkley, an interview with Charles Barkley yesterday.
Yeah.
He said he had a friendly relationship, for the most part, with Rush Limbaugh.
Okay.
And he asked him, because Rush Limbaugh was on the Sixers plane one time.
Sure.
And he asked him, these guys are upset because the way you talk. And he basically said, you got to say what you got to say to get people to listen to you. And he basically admitted to him he doesn't even believe half the stuff he's saying.
I think the other guy that just got the judgment against him.
Sandy Hook.
Yeah.
Alex Jones. Yeah.
Jones.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yep.
They have decided that whatever I can say
Yep.
that's going to make me money, I'm going to say it.
Yeah. Fox News. And not even just them. There are some CNN, MSNBC,
Oh, yeah.
all of them.
And the reason they do that is because up until now, there's been no real responsibility for what you say.
Yep.
And a retraction never gets as much traction
Yes.
as an initial statement.
Absolutely. And I still believe the media needs to take some responsibility for the rise of Trump's presidency in the sense of this. When he was running, they kept the cameras on him.
Free advertising.
Free advertisement. Cameras on him kept people watching and ratings. And then when he got elected and he started coming after them, all of a sudden, oh, freedom of speech. But wait a minute. If y'all didn't give him so much attention during the primaries.
Yeah. But it was good for ratings.
It was good for ratings.
Yeah.
And good for money.
It was good for ratings. Advertisers, all that
Yeah.
good stuff that happened. So I guess what we're seeing now is the de-evolution of principles and integrity.
Yep.
Because I've watched a few politicians that I'm familiar with make statements that, knowing them before this era, it is not who they used to be.
Yep.
And they're making statements because, like any politician, they're trying to make sure their base is not offended.
Yes. Yep.
At the and you taught me this. Even though the politician may legislate against their own best interests.
Yes. Yep. And as long as you're doing these few things, you can kick my back in. But just
I don't get
don't
that.
let them be better than me in my eyes.
Yeah,
Just-
well, it's amazing.
yeah.
The dynamic that has been revealed, and I'm not sure a lot of people see this. People are playing to the fears of individuals
Yep.
and not to the strengths of them. And what's really upsetting to me, as far as media is concerned, is that the drama not only appeals to the base,
Yep.
but raises the interests of people that are opposed to what they
Yes.
believe.
Yes.
So I'm either following it because I agree with it, or I'm following it because I disagree with it.
Yes. Yep.
That's an amazing thing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, because during the Obama years, Fox News had the highest ratings.
Yep.
During the Trump years, MSNBC and CNN, and it just keeps shifting back and forth. People hate watching, but you know Howard Stern learned that.
Yeah.
They told him he had the highest back in the '90s when he really
He was
kicked
hot.
Hot. People hate listening to him longer than people that like to listen to him because they liked him. And they kept going with because he understood.
The more crazy his
Yeah.
agenda got on his show, the higher his ratings went.
Yes.
So I'm listening to hear something to be offended by, or I'm listening because what you're saying appeals to me.
Yes.
But you get both audiences.
You get
with
both
it.
audiences, and they know what they're doing, and people fall right into the trap.
But answer me this: why is reality radio so different than reality TV? Because I watched a piece of one reality TV show and decided it was nonsense, and I would never watch it again, and I've kept to that.
Yeah.
So the drama does not make me watch. I don't ride around looking for car accidents
Right. Yeah.
that have fatalities.
Yes.
You know, so what is it about us that some of us are drawn to that? Well, I might have answered my own question. So if I have very little going on in my life, I'm interested in the negatives going on in somebody else's.
It make me feel good about me, or it's just the excitement of we'll think about gossip. You know, we brought it up before. To those who see light, they'll see light. Those see darkness, darkness.
Right.
You talk to them about a promotion of your job, last results.
Very little celebration.
Bring a negative gossip.
Oh,
Lean in,
enthusiasm,
just-
yes sir. Passion, volume,
Right.
excitement. It always has amazed me that I can watch the same individual that has little or no reaction to positive things.
Yeah.
And give half behind answers. I'm getting saved.
Yeah.
Half behind answers when something is to be celebrated. But rise up in emotion, focus, enthusiasm, volume, vocabulary, velocity, all that happens when something negative happens.
Yep.
What is wrong with us that we love? And this, I have a problem with this as far as Christians are concerned. Why aren't you more celebratory of positive things than you are of negative things?
Yeah.
Why is it the only passion that you reveal is when something going wrong in somebody else's life?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if it like gives a sense of identity with some people, because like you can get so used to the bad and the negative.
You know what I think it is?
Okay.
And maybe our callers can help us with this. I think it doesn't make me feel so inferior that you have a problem.
Oh, other people, yes.
Yes,
I
sir.
feel better about myself.
Yeah, I feel better about me because you got
issues.
this issue going.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm not the only one out here that's doing nothing, that's going nowhere. That's,
Yeah. And if I'm upset, you gotta be upset too.
oh yeah.
You know, not we can express our outrage in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to be angry just like I am, sad just like I am, going off like I am. And I'm like,
But a lot of
I don't
people, their
have to-
circle of friends are around their protestability.
yeah,
You know, we can sit around and talk about people that makes us comrades.
yeah,
But somebody said, great minds think of things to accomplish.
Yeah.
Small minds search to criticize.
yes, yep, yeah,
So if you got a group, listen to me closely, if you got a group and 70-80% of your conversation is the negativity that's going on around you, people that you know, then you are considered to have a small mind.
Yep.
I'm talking to you this morning.
yeah,
But if you're among people who are thinking about progression, what we can do in the future, how we can positively impact our own lives and the lives of people around us, those come out of great minds. Minor minds, small minds, think of criticism as a sport.
yes, they do. And you see that in the wealthy.
Yep.
You see that in the
Oh,
poor.
money doesn't matter.
Money don't matter.
Money
It's-
doesn't matter.
It's
Money doesn't matter.
It's
You would think money would cure that, but it doesn't.
Yep, it's the rich man Lazarus thing. The rich man was internally had this sickness.
Yeah.
While Lazarus had the external.
That's right. That's right.
thing.
That's right.
But
That's right.
Lazarus was more at peace.
Absolutely.
Not saying that poverty is
No.
the way we should take, but you get what I'm saying.
Money does not
Yeah.
change your view of yourself.
Yep.
Money makes you more competitive if you have low self-esteem and low self-respect.
Yeah.
So if I've got low self-respect and I become a millionaire, it doesn't change my habits.
Yep. Yep.
I'm just a negative person with money.
Yes. More and more power now to be
Well,
vindictive.
and now I really feel like I'm superior to others, not
Yeah.
because of who I am,
Yeah.
but because of what I possess.
Yes. Yes. Sin has made us crazy, man.
Well,
we are.
yeah,
This-
it's and that's part of it, which is why the Bible is clear. Without the transformation of the mind, there is no real enjoyment of eternal life.
Yes.
That transformed mind is a key. It's a linchpin. It's a pivotal point in that equation for us. That our minds have to be transformed. Until our minds are changed, our life won't change.
Yep. 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 And how we choose to see.
Yeah.
things.
Well, I got it, and this is what's crazy about human beings. We think that stuff changes around us. If we see it differently, we'll change.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. My perception of myself has to change before my perspective on things around me
Yeah.
is altered.
Yeah.
If I still see myself as the kid from the projects, as the kid who was on government assistance, as the kid who ate government food, you can put me in a palace.
Yep.
And until that changes within, I'm not going to see it differently.
Yeah. We're going to treat the new just like the old and bring the old into the new. And,
Yeah. I think when you bring up Lazarus, when he was talking to one of the sisters, I think it was Mary, and she came, she said, if you had been here, this would not have happened. And Jesus reminds her, didn't I tell you
Yeah.
who I am?
Yep.
So her perception of him was governed by her inability to change Lazarus' situation.
Yep.
And he reminds her, this is who I am in your life.
Yeah.
And I've come because I love you. I'm paraphrasing now. And I'm going to show you once again.
Yeah.
So his repeated testimony in front of her had not altered the way she saw herself nor how she saw him.
Yes. Yes.
Because she still was, if you had been here,
Locked
this wouldn't
into
happen. Yeah.
her limit
Yes,
mindset.
she had a limited mindset.
Rather than you're here, so you can take care of what I believe is something limited.
He's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on his way.
Right.
And when he gets here, this will get fixed.
Yes.
She had finality in her mind when she talked to Jesus.
Yep. Yeah.
If you had been here,
Yeah.
he wouldn't be dead now.
And I know he's going to be raised up in the last day. Jesus, I ain't talking about
I
the
ain't
last
talking
day.
about that.
I'm
I'm talking about right now.
Yeah, that's true too, but right now.
Yeah, we're going to do this here.
But that limit.
Haven't you learned anything from me, Mary, sitting around the table talking to me?
Yep. Yep.
I've been in your house so many times. You still don't know who I am.
Yeah. Which is one of Jesus' greatest frustrations with all his followers. Just,
because we have to, our self-perception has to be transformed. Yeah. At that moment, she was not perceiving the strength of the relationship she had with the Lord. And even though she knew his miracles, we have to assume she knew his miracles. She thought that he had a limitation. Yeah. Because he wasn't physically present. Yeah.
Yep. And culturally, it's been 4 days.
He's over.
It's
So he's past help.
He's past help, yes.
Come on, man. So anyway. Yeah. So at the center of the news, at the top of the news, at the bottom of the news is the FBI going to Mar-a-Lago. And I didn't think it was unreasonable because of this. Number one, this head of the Justice Department is not known for impulsive actions. Number two, they've been asking him for stuff since he left office.
Yep.
They already took some stuff out of there. But because they had an informant, they realized there's some other things of importance, possible importance, that are there. So there's two choices. We either let him have it and see what he does with it, or we go get it. Because it was never supposed to leave the White House. And he can't declassify things because he thinks he can.
Yep. And he brought up, he went on his little rage on his site, whatever site it is. Well, Obama had 33,000 records. Well, all of those documents that President Obama left with was all approved before he left the White House.
Absolutely.
They 33,000 approved each individual one.
But here's the thing. I think politicians tend to bank on the ignorance of the people that voted for them. They know that we are generally not well informed.
Yes.
And they know we don't hear well, nor do we read. So they can throw something out there, and the average person is not going to research whether that's true. Man, the phone's lit up.
I mean, and think about it. The past few years, the FBI was the bastion of, policing.
He hired them.
Thank you.
He hired the head of
when
it.
It was Hillary Clinton, the FBI was...
They were absolutely wonderful.
And now it's defund the FBI. It was Blue Lives Matters for years. Now all of a sudden, Blue Lives Matters don't matter at all.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. We have one line that is open. If you give us a call, we're going to go to line one. Can you see that, Pastor Nick?
There's nothing on there yet.
There's nothing on there? Well, let's go to line one and see what happens. Good morning. Welcome to On Point.
Good morning, Bishop and Pastor Nick. How
What?
are you?
Robin's first?
Right.
My
I know,
goodness.
right?
I know.
Lord, it's coming soon.
Y'all just make me laugh. I just love it. It's my Saturday morning coffee.
How you doing this morning?
I'm good. Bishop, I have a question that I want to ask, and then I'll be done. But my comment, you were just talking
I doubt
about,
that, but go ahead.
Right. Exactly.
All right, Pastor Nick, I hear you. When you was talking about, choose positive people, conversations, and negative, and I'm finding out that it's really a lot like family. I don't know if they see something on you, they jealous, but I've learned and I've grown from your teachings to sometimes you have to stay away from that type of family. You can love them.
Yeah, from a distance.
But you don't have to be around. And what you were saying about that really, hit home. I just want to, thank y'all for just, everything that y'all talk about on Point.
God bless you, Rob.
Yeah, but
Oh, she ain't finished. See, I told you.
Right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I almost crying this morning. This is part of the question, and I'll be done.
Go ahead.
I was reading an article this morning regarding the father in Oklahoma City that took his 3 kids' life and himself, all because of the kid's mom was, had cheated on him. Then he took his own life. Now, Bishop, I know you did a message on about pro-life, biblical, spiritual way. Now, regarding the monkeypox, I know it's a different subject, with the gay population, regarding what's going on in the politics, regarding what's going on everything in the world, on a spiritual level, what is going on right now? I've never seen anything like this.
Well, what we are seeing, part of what we're seeing, not totality, but part of what we're seeing, is the fruit of man's will. God has given us will to do right and to do wrong. And we see the fruit of man's will spreading across the world. And it shows us really how much commonality there is between human beings, whether what color, what country. There's a basic nature to us. And that good decision-making ability, because I don't like to put it this way. I think Pastor Nick and I talked about this a couple weeks ago. God took a risk, quote unquote, giving us free will, because oftentimes we decide against him. And the fruit of our decisions, every problem that we're looking at right now, I can say is the fruit of a man's decision somewhere in the world. Fruit of a man's decision. So we have to get back to obeying God, get back to truth, and I think our consequences or our manifestations will start to change. But not everybody's born again,
right?
And not everybody born again makes the correct decision. So we have to. What we're seeing in the world, to answer your question, are the fruits of men and women's decisions around the world.
Wow, and this is not. I mean, it's just so much. Now, this is it. Will you be?
Just the third thing, Pastor Nick.
Right.
This third thing. She said, "I got one thing, but we're on number 3 now, and it feels like we're headed to number 4." Go ahead, Robin.
Will you be doing a message, biblically, on the gay issue in our country, like you did on the pro-choice?
I'm sure I will.
Okay.
Have to do some. I think, and you may have missed it, Robin, because a few years ago, before the pandemic, I did a message or 2, maybe 3.
Yeah,
And it revolved. I can't think of the name. Sister McKinney will know about Noah's Ark and how we look at this part of our population that we may not agree with choice, but we all agree they're human beings, that we are all human beings. So it's about Noah's Ark. Sister McKinney will know what it is if you reach out to her.
Okay. And kudos to our Eagles preseason.
Why, they doing something?
It's preseason. They had their first game last night. It's preseason.
Preseason. Who'd they play?
They look so good, especially Jalen Hurts.
Who'd they play?
The Jets.
And they lost?
It was good.
It's preseason. They had, by the time when the starters were in, they were up 14-0.
Okay.
Then when all the third and fourth string people came in,
Well, here's
preseason.
Here's my. You guys can answer this question for me. We're gonna let you go, Robin, so you can listen.
Okay, y'all have a blessed.
All right. So let me ask a question. So I'm a professional ball player, and I am second or third string. Now I may be naive. Now you guys can help me. I think if I'm a professional ball player, and my starter goes out, there should not be such a marked difference between the second string guy and the third string guy that the game goes down to 2.
It happens a lot, though.
Because what happens? You're in a team sport that injuries are common, and you need this second or third string guy to step into the gap. So, are you planning obsolescence? Are you planning to lose?
You plan your best with the people on your bench to fill in. But you can expect.
But not to decrease in such a manner that you start losing every game.
For instance, if Mahomes is out, he's like a one
of a kind guy.
Or even if Brady's out, depending on the system, or Peyton Manning's out, it's hard to find excellence.
Then how does Belichick do it year in and year out?
The way Belichick does it is this. Okay. This is the one marked difference. This is the marked difference.
Okay.
It's Belichick's system.
Exactly.
It's so set up.
Exactly.
But you do notice a difference.
Yes.
when Brady wasn't there.
Absolutely.
So they may have.
He's a one-of-a-kind quarterback.
True. But even when he left and
Yeah.
Mac Jones came in and a couple other guys came in, when they lost a bunch of defensive pieces, their defense was shaky for a while.
Because they didn't have the pieces behind it to fill in.
But that's the point. It works together.
So I'm saying to you,
it's system and pieces.
if I'm building a team, is it budgetary where I accept a guy second or third string that's not quite, this can't challenge my starter for the position?
What part of it is budget?
Okay.
Because you can only
Okay.
have a certain amount of money to spend.
Okay.
It's not like baseball where you can go over
Okay.
the cap every year.
Okay.
It's that, but then also some seasons there may not be enough quality guys there, and
So-
some there may be.
But they're getting guys, okay, so what we're really looking at, how many players are there in the NFL on teams? 900,
There's
600, 900?
53 on 53 active on
Okay.
each roster. 32 teams.
Okay.
Whoever that
So out of the plethora of college, because that's NFL's farm system, college football. Out of the plethora of that farm system, we're saying that there are really not, out of the thousands of kids playing football, there are not that many that can play at the pro level.
Yes.
There's a smaller number that can start.
Yes.
So by virtue of just human ability, the second and third stringers, as a rule, are not nearly as good as the starters.
Yes.
Okay.
Now the other thing too is this. Again, there's other factors to it. You can take a great guy, put him in the wrong system, and
Mess
he
him up.
flounder.
Mess him up.
Put him in the right system, and I think this is what I don't like about coaches sometimes. They'll take a good player and try to fit that player into their system.
Misusing.
Rather than what's his strengths and
Yeah.
let's work with that.
Yeah.
They're so stubborn in their
Yeah, unbelievable.
you know.
Andy Reid.
But a guy like Belichick, he has a system, and he does make adjustments according to people. But he gets the same guys.
Yeah, he tends to draft
the same
guys that'll work in his system, and they may be unknown until they come there.
That's the thing he does.
Okay.
And he's a savant.
Okay. Yeah, he's a genius.
He's a one in a million.
Yeah. He's a different kind of guy.
Yeah, I swear he has Asperger's or something.
Yes. Well,
I mean, I'm not saying it as a joke, but I mean, like, because he doesn't have the human interaction, but
he's a football quant.
Yeah,
he's a football quant.
Something's different.
Yeah. He's now he may not be able to carry a conversation about a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You start talking about the football and intricacies of it.
Yeah, he's
a quant.
Yeah, he's above and beyond different.
Oh yeah. Let's go to line 3, Danny. Good morning, Danny. How you doing?
Good morning. How you doing, Bishop? Pastor Nick, how you doing? How's everyone doing this morning?
Thanks for calling us today. You there?
Yes.
Yeah, thanks for calling, man. What's your comment this morning?
Okay, I'd just like to just say good morning to you and Pastor Nick and the staff and the wonderful job you are doing. I just wanted to bring up something that you talked about last week.
Okay.
You said you would bring it up again this week.
Okay.
And it just so happened that it's all tying in.
Mm-hmm.
We're in that. We had a vice president years ago who warned us about global warming.
Sure did.
Okay, and they laughed him to scorn.
Mm-hmm.
It made it seem as though everything that he said was totally ridiculous.
Now he's looking like a genius.
Yeah. God has a way of speaking to us.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been talking to us for the last 3 years, warning us and telling us. Can you elaborate and tell us something about the way he's speaking to us, no matter what we come up with? It's supposed to be a cure or a Band-Aid for a situation, but it doesn't work.
Here's the thing. One of the things that I think a lot of Christians miss is that when he gave mankind dominion in the earth or over the earth, he was making us stewards of the thing he had created. I believe it's the psalmist that say that God has given the earth to mankind. So we became the stewards, if you will, the caretakers, the managers of this environment. And now we're seeing the mismanagement of it. We're seeing the abuse of it. And unfortunately, a lot of this abuse of the environment is because money could be made. So we polluted rivers and streams and oceans because it was a cheap way to discard of what we were manufacturing. So the mishandling or the incorrect stewardship of creation has now started to come home to haunt us. You know, all the years of pollution, all the years of polluting the sky, all the years of polluting the waterways, all the years of polluting the soil. All that stuff is coming back. And one of those manifestations is the drastically increased cancer rates from year to year. Yep. It goes back to the way we have mishandled the stewardship of this gift God gave us called Earth.
Wow. We're trying to have dominion over people rather than have dominion over creation,
Absolutely.
which God did.
And we kind of decided it was okay to ignore it and abuse it.
Yep.
You know, and that is not faith in that, you know, okay, we might say that, you know, heaven and earth will pass away before the word does. That does not take away our responsibility as stewards of creation.
Right. Yeah. We may not ultimately end the world.
No.
Human beings.
But the condition
of the condition of the world can rot over time. Yeah. Like,
and it's not much different than our stewardship of our own health.
Yeah.
A lot of us abuse our own health. Things we eat, things we don't eat, lack of exercise. I mean, just we tend to be bad stewards of ourselves. Rarely do you see someone disheveled looking that does not have a disheveled home.
Yeah. True.
And if there's a disheveled home, that means a disheveled mind.
Yep.
So it is difficult, Danny, for us to distance ourselves. Here we go again, from the way we perceive ourselves.
Yep.
Wow. Okay. And one more thing as I get off the line is that how is it that you pull a raid on someone, but yet protesters are already there with signs made up?
Were they there that quickly?
They ran to Mar-a-Lago real quick.
They went up there right away. But
as soon as the news got out,
they weren't there before they got there, Jan. They were there pretty fast.
Yeah.
Because it became international news. I'm surprised people weren't flying in.
Yeah. These people are, it's like a cult, man.
But you know, they have to. It's amazing to me how people are willing to accuse first, without knowing exactly what's going on.
Right.
And they're willing to believe a lie much faster than they believe the truth.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's this other dilemma that has happened in the last 30 years that I've been alive, and that is what people don't know they create.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, you got these people still talking about Hunter Biden's laptop, JFK Jr. coming back. I mean,
it's crazy.
I'm like, but you want us to go along with this?
I thought they had an appearance of JFK in Texas not too long ago.
Yeah, he was supposed to appear at the.
Yeah. He came at some festival they had.
Yeah, it never showed up, and then. But it reminded me. What's the guy who did the rapture thing a couple years ago? Since Jesus was coming back.
Oh yeah.
People sold their houses. Sold all their cars. Moved out to California.
Oh yeah.
Hank Hanegraaff.
Yep.
And moved out there, and then when it didn't happen, I'm sorry, y'all. Meanwhile, he made a boatload of money.
Yes, sir.
From that.
Yes, sir. And people really believed in him because he was one of the most popular radio hosts biblically for years. And when he said it's about to come to an end, people responded to him. They sold stuff and went and sat on top of mountains and stuff.
Yeah.
And then it was, my bad.
Yeah, and I'm going to retirement. I'm not going to do this anymore.
What was that Y2K thing?
Yeah, Y2K too, yeah.
I contended from the beginning.
Yeah.
If you think American corporations were going to lose billions of dollars simply because the calendar changed, you are insane.
I still remember that New Year's Eve service. And you hit 12 o'clock. He was like, see y'all. We were in Washington Township.
Yep.
We were like, see y'all. Nothing happened. That's good. just
I was like, man.
I remember that.
Danny, thanks for calling us. Give my sister my love, all right?
Thank you very much.
Talk to you, man. Bye-bye.
Right.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in the United States of America. Coming to you live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time at David G. Evans 1 on any smart device. At David G. Evans, the #1. Give us a call, 866-743-8267. We are going to Tom in Florida. Good morning, Tom. How you doing?
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, Pastor Nick?
How you doing?
Hey, Bishop, you know, they were talking about those people popped up in Mar-a-Lago so quickly. The problem was, not a problem, the FBI went in there without all the craziness, and the only reason people knew is because Trump let the cat out the bag that they were there. That's the only reason why the Attorney General came out publicly and started talking about it. That could have been totally
very quiet.
Yes, that's all Trump's doing that.
But do you think, Tom, that perhaps he thought he would get out ahead of it and start planting the lie that, you know, he didn't know, and then they had to backtrack on that because the attorneys and all had been consulted. They knew they were coming, and you know, so I think it was just a matter of him muddying the water.
Yeah. I guarantee that's what it was about.
Yeah.
And I think that the Attorney General kind of saw that coming. That's one reason why he came out and said what he said recently.
So now what has happened? What has happened? They petitioned, the Justice Department to petition for certain parts of that documentation to be open to the public.
Yeah, they released, I think, 4 pages last night.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then
the
did the former president have to
yesterday.
backtrack on his remarks, or did he have to suddenly agree that they should be?
He's still talking trash like it's normal.
Okay.
Now, and I don't know if this is true or not. I want to see. I haven't found it yet, but people are saying that Trump revealed the names of the FBI gentlemen or women that came to his house, came to Mar-a-Lago.
So what?
Well, he revealed it to his base, and now they're getting death threats.
Yeah, they're being taunted.
The people that actually went in and served the warrant are being.
I think that Garlington may be the wrong one. I think that's a tiger he doesn't want to grab by the tail, because this guy is sold out to the law. My mom always told me, you got to watch out for the quiet ones.
Yes.
Just because I think certain people see a quiet individual as a weak individual, but that's not necessarily true.
Yep.
Sometimes they are thinkers, contemplators. They may plod, but they always make progress.
Yep. Yeah. So he's really pacing himself, and he's extremely calm, which I love.
Because he can't
about
make
him.
mistakes.
Yeah.
Especially
with this.
doing
With
this.
Yeah. Oh, it was Harold Campion that did the thing, not Hank
Campion.
Hanegraaff.
Campion.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hanegraaff. Hanegraaff actually came after us one time.
Really?
Yes, he was. Years and years ago, when me and who's the guy from Cherry Hill?
I know you're talking about.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name, but I know you're talking about.
Yeah, my former co-host. He came after us for a moment, and then kind of realized he was all wet.
Okay.
Because he came at us biblically, and a couple of people called and told him, "You're barking up the wrong tree on this."
Right.
This guy actually reads his Bible.
Right.
You know, so
they got the anti-charismatic.
Yeah,
thing.
they had that going on.
Pentagon,
You know,
yeah.
and I think the way he was looking at it is that here we are, a Baptist church, with clearly a charismatic mindset, but biblically sound.
Yeah.
And those two things didn't fit in the same cup as far as he was concerned.
Yeah. They have this is our way. The Bible is, and God is this way.
Yeah,
like they have a monopoly on God.
Yeah. And they're the only ones that understand who he is and what he does.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bishop,
Yeah.
You brought something else up earlier, and I have to say I don't like the guy, Mr. Belichick.
Yeah.
But he has taken people who are nobodies and made them stars.
I think because if he gets someone with ability who may not be a receiver of national recognition, but he understands that football players are people and they're athletes, and you can have a guy from Division III who's not getting attention, who actually is a wonderful player, and all they need is the right system.
Yeah.
And he knows how to choose. I mean, what's this guy, the quarterback who he used to have?
Brady.
Brady wasn't a number one guy.
He's sixth round.
He was sixth round.
Yeah. I mean, you think about him. It takes
150th in the draft.
Yeah.
Well, you would know because you've managed people for a while. It takes a lot to manage egos.
Absolutely.
So Phil Jackson was probably the only coach that can manage Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman on the same team, and then go to Kobe and Shaq and manage all that
and still do it
and still win.
Yeah.
People like Pat Riley, Jackson,
those guys,
Belichick, they're rare breeds that can
manage egos.
Something else to Belichick. He took superstars like Randy Moss, who were problems,
rehabilitated them,
and brought them right back.
They behaved on that team.
But I think the other part of that was if I'm a Randy Moss and Belichick calls me and says, he's got enough credit that, okay, I need to get myself together if I'm going to play for this guy. Yes. And Moss did a great job when he was playing for him.
Phenomenal. They broke all these kind of records. They didn't win the Super Bowl, but they broke some records though.
God, man, he was, but he's a good manager of people.
Yeah.
And however strange we think he is, when it comes to football players, he knows how to manage egos.
And I think that's the difference between him and everybody else.
And I think part of that might be, and you guys can correct me, is that he impresses upon them, our system in winning is greater than your ego.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to be a part of something that's going to win, fine. If you don't want to do it our way, you don't have to be here. I don't care who you are.
Right.
But then he drafts people that are not top, quote unquote, considered top. And that lets me know that just because you're drafted 150 doesn't mean you were correctly evaluated.
Yeah. And he doesn't mind a slow walk of building.
No.
Everybody's in this win now. He's like, look, when Brady left, okay, we're going to rebuild. And he's just taking his time.
He's got his
putting
farm
the pieces
system
together.
He's got a farm system.
3-4 years, stuff starts clicking.
Here we go. Tom, you doing good down there in Florida, man? I pray for my Florida friends all the time.
Y'all bugging down there.
Other than monkeypox, but I'm worried about you guys with the weather.
Well, we it's actually it actually feels cool today. I believe it's in the 70s, but we've been doing 90 to 100 for the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and it's going to be in the 80s most of the next weekend too.
Yeah, we're going to be in the 80s most of the next week, so we have Florida weather.
Well, I'm glad to see that it's not up in the 100, close to 100.
It was cooking.
Yeah, 'cause I'm over.
Oh yeah.
I'm over.
It was cooking, but it is summertime and it is August, so I don't know why we expected fall weather.
I'm over. I'm ready for the fall.
I love the summer. I don't want the fall to come, but it's okay. No, coats and stuff are coming back.
Yes.
I might carry a jacket with me all the time, but I don't like wearing it.
Because it's breezy in the morning now. I walked outside today. I said, oh, okay.
I went out there. I was out there this morning, Doc, and I'm glad I dressed for the weather.
It's time.
Tom, thank you, man.
You guys have a great day.
Talk to you. Bye-bye. 866-743-8267. We've got Keisha from Elizabeth, and we've got Jay from Delaware. Let's go to Keisha. Hi, Keisha.
Good morning, Bishop and Pastor Nick.
Morning.
How you doing today?
I'm good, and you?
We working on it, girl. We working on it. What's your comment today?
Listen, I just want to congratulate you again on your 32nd anniversary.
Thank you so much.
And I got 2 praise reports for you, and then I'm going to let you go.
Okay.
Remember when I asked you to pray because I was worried about my son?
Yes, ma'am.
Guess what?
What happened?
Last Saturday, I was walking home because I was taking the kids to lunch at the church.
Mm-hmm.
So on my way home, somebody calling me. Who in the world? Oh my goodness. Prayer works.
Absolutely.
I went and turned around, and it was my son.
Wow.
I said, I can't believe this.
Why couldn't you believe it, girl?
So much
Prayer
stuff.
works. Prayer works. Believe you have received it, is what Jesus said.
And then yesterday, also, I was walking home,
mm-hmm.
and this car stopped. They're like, Miss, wait. I'm like, wait. She's like, wait, I got something for you. She got out the car and gave me a whole bag of food.
Wonderful.
I was like, wow, I got 2 blessings in 2 weeks.
Lord is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad to hear it, Keisha. God is answering your prayers.
Oh yeah.
And he's a good father.
I say to myself.
Yeah, he's a good father.
One service of Bethany Baptist Church, I'm gonna be mad.
God is a good father, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell y'all. And just continue to keep me lifted up in prayer.
God bless you, girl.
All right.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye. 866-743-8267. We've got some lines open. We've got about 8 minutes left in our broadcast. You can call us and give us a call. Jay, how you doing, man?
Good morning, brothers. How are you?
We're doing good. Glad to hear your voice again.
Yes, sir. 2 things one thing before I circle back to the climate change.
Mm-hmm.
The Presidential Records Act.
Yep.
Okay. The Trump administration was notorious for being reckless with records.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
And I just read an article this week that said aides even had to dig notes out of the toilet because President Trump was good for writing something and then just ripping it up and throwing it in the toilet. You can't do that.
No.
The president, everything the president, I don't care if it's a birthday card, it's archived.
Absolutely.
Because it's so, the National Archives have been on him since he left office. Because there are things missing. They're doing their audit now.
Yeah.
There are things missing, and here's why we have the FBI.
That's my thing. If people would have some sense of sick, if he would have cooperated earlier, they wouldn't have had to raid him.
Nope.
Nobody looking at FBI's at fault rather than his lack of cooperation.
But he's a contrarian, Pastor Nick. If you tell him to go left, he's going to go right simply because you told him to go left.
And his folk gonna go right over there with him.
And of course, he had that king complex.
Yeah, true.
And believed that the presidency afforded him the opportunity to do whatever he wanted to do, however he wanted to do it, whenever, and the laws really didn't apply to him.
Yeah.
Which is why he asked for loyalty rather than fidelity to the Constitution out of those that were serving him.
Yep. So true.
That's right.
Yeah. He wanted loyalty because he needed someone to support whatever he wanted to do.
Yep.
My second, Bishop, you just really, when Danny called in, you really just said the summer of 2011 was a weird year.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very weird year. And I remember going outside. I'm a night owl, so I sometimes I just go outside in the middle of the night. And I went out on my balcony. 2 o'clock in the morning, and I heard birds chirping.
Yep.
And I said, what is going on? And then that year we had 1,750 tornadoes in the United States. The deadliest year on record for tornadoes in the history of the United States.
Wow.
We had an earthquake that shook the earth so hard it knocked us off of our axis.
Wow.
And I immediately began to think, what you just spoke about, we have to be stewards of the earth.
Yep.
And it's not talked about in Christian communities enough. We should be environmentalists. We should be taking care of the planet.
Absolutely.
Before anyone else, we should be. Because this is the mandate he gave to us.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's telling now, droughts. I just talked to a woman yesterday in West Texas. Their farmers are getting rid of cattle by the head because they don't have water to feed them.
Wow.
And they'd rather get rid of them now so they can make some money before they have to just throw the carcasses, in the land.
Yeah.
I went to Lake Mead, I said last week, 2 weeks ago. The water levels. California, and probably in 10 years, there'll be no water for the West Coast. It's coming from the Midwest. Yellowstone National Park had that flood just, 2 months ago.
Yep.
The park's going to be closed for the next indefinitely because it's dangerous just to go there.
Yeah.
Because of everything that's going on, all attributable to climate change.
But we deny it, and it doesn't make any sense. And you're right. I mean, all you have to do is have lived for maybe 40 years, 35, 40 years. And if you haven't noticed that the patterns of the weather has changed, if you haven't noticed the mildness of the winters in Northeast, the colder and more snow and stuff there was in the South, if you don't understand that things have changed, they're not the same. But we refuse to acknowledge that fact. I saw something last week, Jay, there was a day about a week ago when the earth actually spun faster than it is supposed to spin, according to men. And I've been trying to figure out a way to explain it to my children. And the best thing I can do is that we have managed to eliminate a lot of the snow caps. We have managed to cut down a lot of our forests. And the way you can explain this is when we have watched ice skaters, when we watch those tournaments, when the ice skater is doing one of those spinning moves, they begin those spinning moves with their arms fully extended. If they want to increase the speed, they draw their arms closer to the body. When we eliminate snow caps, eliminate our forests, we are eliminating the extensions from the earth. And as we lose those, the earth spins faster and faster. That's the clearest way I can explain it. But we're ignoring the very things in our environment that are causing changes in the earth.
Oh, the deforestation. I read an
Absolutely.
article yesterday, 2 days ago, about Brazil, these billionaires and millionaires in Brazil who are buying the rainforest.
Mm-hmm. And they're not going to preserve it.
And they're not preserving it. They're knocking it down so they can build.
So we impact the environment, but don't expect things to change. It's the most lunatic thing I've ever heard.
When you see these weird animals running around and in places that they have no business being,
mm-hmm.
and you wonder why.
We're chasing them out of their homes.
Yeah.
Now, I could be wrong here, but
Yeah.
I do not remember it getting so dark this early in August. Like, I know eventually starts to taper down.
It's changing.
But I'm like, usually...
Drastic.
Yeah, when I was a kid, the end of August, 8 o'clock, the sun was still pretty much. Now it's like...
Nope.
After Bible study, I looked outside Wednesday, like, it's dark.
It's getting darker faster, which is
But
why
it's
they're
not
thinking
even
about
dark
playing
anymore.
around with daylight saving time.
Yes.
But it's not even dark anymore. You know, look at our sky, especially in Philadelphia. When's the last time you seen a black sky? Just a black sky. It's
gotta
almost like a blue hue now.
You got to go
because of
down
all
to the
light
country
pollution.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I like summertime. I like looking out at the stars at nighttime,
Mhm.
just sitting out. But
Mhm.
you can't really see as much up here.
Yeah, it's
You got to be.
You have to be
There's
in
too much
Texas.
light. Yeah.
You have to be in
Everything-
Texas, Florida,
Yep.
to actually see an array of stars and all that's in the sky at nighttime. When the further north you get,
Yeah.
the more polluted the area is.
Yep.
Therefore, the inability to see what's up in the sky becomes
exactly.
increasingly
It's-
difficult.
But
we're it's not our fault. We're just, we can just keep doing this and be upset with acid rain. And I remember my great grandmother used to collect rain in the backyard.
yeah, you could.
Yeah, and
Yes.
she would collect the rain and use it to wash her hair.
Yep.
And her hair was beautiful up until the time she passed away. This is my great grandmother in Florida. She'd use it for our hair. She used it for certain cooking. She used it to feed her chickens.
Yep.
Her dog.
Yep. Now.
You better not put that on your head.
Yep.
You better not.
Yeah. It's funny you brought that up. I saw it a couple of days ago. The article came out. Rainwater is no longer safe to drink anymore.
Well, everybody knew that.
Just- I mean, it's.
I'll tell you funny. It's not funny. I'll tell you something. When I was a little boy, our next door neighbor used to make ice cream out of snow.
Yeah. Yep.
You would not dare do that now.
Yeah. No.
Oh, no.
Because the snow, by the time it gets to us and filters all that nonsense, it's not safe for consumption. I'm not even sure it's safe to be on your skin.
Well, what snows?
Rain.
What snows?
It's rain.
Yeah. Literally.
It's rain.
But I mean, now it's what is snow? I haven't I remember as a kid because I used to have to shovel it. So I remember
Oh yeah,
it snowed in the wintertime.
absolutely. Jay,
And it was
we're running out of time, man. We got 51 seconds left.
Yeah. Right.
Great discussion, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Talk to you soon. Bye-bye. This has been On Point. We got some announcements, Pastor Nick.
Yes.
Tomorrow, 11 o'clock, we'll be outside, of course. 8 o'clock in the morning is our virtual service.
Yes. Of course, we have our back to school drive.
Back to school drive
Bring
going on.
backpacks Sundays when you come to church.
Yep.
Anytime during the week, drop it off.
Yep.
Or give them one of our sites.
That's backpacks and supplies.
Yep.
Yeah.
Back to school, all that in backpack. Distributions on the 27th. All the information is on our site. Of course, we have our fourth Friday experience on the 26th.
That's going to be wonderful.
Yeah, from 6 to 9.
That's a
6:39.
concert, festival,
Everything. Games,
outdoor games,
food.
funnel cake. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Food for purchase.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, food first, yeah.
We're going to give away some gas cards and some other stuff.
Yeah.
So
Going to be a fun day.
it's going to be good. Yeah.
Well, we want to thank you once again for Pastor Nicholas Smith. I'm Bishop Dave G. Evans. Remember now, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so, that it might be so. God bless you. See you next time on Point.